So what is NLP? Neuro-linguistic programming. Can the name get any more confusing? Well, I hope to answer it in this short video to give you a bit of an insight into this wildly popular and ever fascinating area. Now, before I tell you what it is, it's only fair that I start with what it isn't. Because if you look in the internet and you troll the web and read some books and articles on it, it's very, very mixed messaging. So firstly, NLP is not a cult. I promise. You can watch this and I'm not going to ask for money for you to join a cult. Number two, NLP isn't a cure-all for everything, for all ailments. Some people say it's some sort of snake oil and mysticism. It's not that at all. And lastly, NLP isn't a scam. It can't be. It's just the study of excellence. Now, you'll see that term come up a lot, or hear that term come up a lot, the study of excellence. And what does that really mean? Well, let's take it right there back to the start, to the 1970s, where Richard Bandler and John Grinder decided to study what excellent therapists, psychotherapists at the time, were doing. You see, it occurred to them that certain psychotherapists were getting fast results, rapid results with certain patients within the matter of hours or days, while other psychotherapists would spend years and years on the same problem. You see, it's about finding what's working and then replicating that. This study, this process of modelling, is exactly that, finding what works and then modelling, understanding what systems, what beliefs, what cause lie underneath to allow a person to achieve that. Because when you know that, you're able to replicate the same thing. You're able to fast-track learning. You're able to dive into new areas by utilising someone else's already proven strategies. So in a nutshell, NLP is the study of excellence. And what that really means at the very core is that people in NLP are able to model what works and what doesn't and absorb those learnings very rapidly. So, who doesn't want that? You can see why it's popular, right? So, let's dive into the three main areas that I feel are important about NLP. Number one is modelling excellence. It really is what it is all about. What is working for someone else? How can I unpack that structure and absorb and learn that and do that myself? Modelling really is at the heart of everything to do with NLP. Number two, changing beliefs and behaviours. Now, I'm not too sure, but this piece about changing beliefs does sound a bit cultish. It's really not about that. If you think our behaviours determine the way that we act, the way that we feel and what we achieve and what we do, what we're able to produce. And they're very closely linked, completely intertwined, should I say, with our belief system. So what we believe will directly affect how we behave. So when you think if you're able to change a belief, you're able to change your behaviour, you're able to change your results. But don't just change for change's sake. Think about that modelling piece. What's working for others who are already doing what you want to do? What beliefs do they hold? What behaviours do they do? And how can you adopt them? Number three, enhanced communication and understanding. This is the part about NLP which is completely undisputable and relevant and helpful to, I think, everyone. Who doesn't want to communicate better? Who doesn't want to understand what people are saying better? See, the enhanced communication really helps anyone in any area of their life. Not just sales, not just negotiators, not just politicians. This is for parents. This is for couples. This is for people who are looking for love and can't seem to find that connection. Enhanced communication is available and I believe necessary for everyone. Modelling. Think of all the possibilities that modelling has for you. Now, I'm not just putting it to you to be manipulative, but really think about what you could achieve if you're able to learn something faster. Do something that you haven't yet been able to do. It might be public speaking. It might be writing in calligraphy. It might be something to do with sport. It might be CrossFit. It might be effective communication. It might be singing. It could be anything. Where's the excellence that you want and you desire? Because there's someone somewhere, or actually lots of people in lots of places, doing exactly what you want to do. And there's a pattern and there's a structure to that. And when you spend time around these people and go through the modelling processes, which there are many, and children do modelling all the time, don't they? They copy, they watch, they learn, they absorb. It's a very simple process, but as adults we seem to do things our own way. Modelling gives us a chance to look at how a person structures their world in that particular way. And that gives us lots of clues to absorb. So modelling is the foundation and the real big takeaway from NLP, from anyone, if you want to learn or achieve something that someone is already doing. The next thing, changing beliefs and behaviours. Again, this falls in the context of modelling. But when we think about the behaviours that we would like to adopt or perhaps need to adopt to enable us to achieve a certain result or a desired outcome, or even take us away from something that we don't want. See, our behaviours are apparent in every single thing that we do. People are able to notice the behaviour while I'm now talking to you, talking to camera. There's certain behaviours, certain characteristics that really do define us. How tenacious are we? How flexible are we mentally? How curious are we? How enthusiastic are we? How peaceful are we? See, behaviours really do define our day-to-day, and some of them good, some of them bad. But if there's a bad behaviour defining you, surely you want to change it, don't you? See, NLP gives us a way to understand how to do that. And it wasn't because two nutty professors decided that they were going to give us a method. No, they studied and they modelled people who already did this or do this naturally, which is where it all comes from. When you study what people do that's excellent, you're able to adopt and you're able to take that on board. And number 3, enhanced communication and understanding. Now, this is really where it's at. Think about how many conversations you've had with a spouse or a friend or someone at the park and they just haven't quite understood each other. You say, that wasn't what I meant, that wasn't what I was saying. And before you know it, the conversation has the potential to go off on a sidetrack, simply because either you interpreted something wrong, another person interpreted something wrong, you weren't clear on what you were saying, or you or they misunderstood the intention behind that. See, the communication models that were found when studying excellent communicators really are a huge takeaway. Now, like anything that's massive and very beneficial, not the kind of thing you can learn overnight. It's something, again, it's a study, it's a practice, implementation. Because when you can communicate effectively and clearly, you're able to get your voice heard, and you're also able to understand other people's voices, intentions. Just imagine what that has to offer. Now, perhaps this is where some of the connotations that NLP is manipulative, NLP is like a cult, NLP is persuasive. It's not, but there are people who are able to put a persuasive suggestion to an audience or to a single person and have that accepted. Now, there's structure to that, and this structure and this clarity and this pulling everything together. It's not like brainwashing. People have free will. And when you're able to control your communication and understand other people's communication, it's vastly beneficial. Now, that could be for sports professionals, as I mentioned, for solicitors, for psychotherapists, for coaches, for anyone in any walk of life. Any parent needs to know this. If you choose to, of course. You've got by perfectly until now without it. But what if there's something that you can take away from that? What will you take away from NLP? Because the study is huge. The books are in the tens of thousands. The uptake and the training is increasing year on year. Public health services are adopting some of the NLP strategies, beliefs, techniques and tools. It's there for everyone. There for everyone to learn. So what will you think about NLP? Thank you, everyone. I hope you receive value from listening to that, and I've got a bit more of an understanding to what NLP is. Remember, you've only got an understanding from me. Go and do some more research and make your own mind up of what you think NLP is. And remember, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, whatever you can to share the knowledge. Speak soon. Bye for now.